of September 2020, of course, 3, as we get right to the biggest moments right there. Just to tell you, on Saturday, it's going to be one of the biggest things that is happening. That is the Aluru Kingdom, where of course the organizers have come up with a game that will be right there. Of course, more I'll be giving you in there. This time around is the girl child, of course, that will be playing. But leaving that there, our biggest topic to talk about includes, of course, the University League. Not forgetting, of course, the FUFA Big League that results and games that will be played in the due course. But at the same time, I want to say that Uganda to bow off of that is the women qualifiers right there. Of course, Benson, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Owen Zaga. Good afternoon, Susie Linda. Not forgetting about the viewers who are watching us at this particular moment. A lot of stories that are happening in the world of sports. You have already given some of the highlights of what we are going to discuss. And my biggest concern is all about our ladies being already out of the AFCON qualifier. Does it mean we are going to finish the whole of this year minus doing anything as far as football fraternity is concerned? But just stay on.
Susie, it's one of the ones. You always say it's the men disappointing us in Uganda, and now the ladies also doing the same. It's vice versa, so we are all equal.
At least we were able to draw as the ladies, but if that was a men's side, trust me, Yupo would be beaten. But all in all, the bottom line is they've all been thrown out of the AFCON, and yeah, the other team gets to go through. Good afternoon. My name is Susie, like Owen said, and good afternoon, my pundits in the house. Viewer, you're most welcome.
Okay, now let's start with the university itself, leagues that are ongoing. Of course, Benson used to be our chief reporter, and probably still remains right there. A couple of games were played, and yesterday was one of the biggest one that you could be, of course, turning the focus onto after quite a long time. I remember we've been a little bit some 1 or 2 days off, that is the University League, but of course yesterday and today there are going to be games that probably will be coming through. Yesterday's results show, of course, a good one university, of course, Kampala University, trying so much to see that they get themselves right there. But again, in the other side, you will be seeing that yes, teams really still want to dominate right here.
Yeah,
anything about university?
Yeah, exactly. That is the point where we are going to kickstart from. Kampala University beating the Bishop of Strat by 2-1. Kampala University, if you take a look at how they have been performing with the rest of the other universities, actually they have been performing very well. Uganda Martyrs University, you talk about moves, not forgetting about Makerere University. Actually, these are the universities when you talk about the ongoing, in fact, the entire tournament, University League, they actually dominating everything. Each of them, they have already won the competition twice. That means this year, each university actually, they are looking for a way of how they can actually surpass the record of the other ones to see that they go on to win maybe the third one. If Kampala University wins it this year, that means they will be winning the competition more than any other university. Makerere University on the other side, they are yearning for the same thing, not forgetting about moves. These are the universities, as I said, that have won the competition twice already. Now they are looking forward. That's why we have seen the competition very stiff. And you talk about the other universities like Imuni University, you talk about Gulu University, not forgetting about Islamic University. These are universities, but in terms of football, they have not performed a lot. But these games are still continuing, not that it has already come to an end. These games are played every day. At least every day you will see one fixer on the card, and on the screen, of course, are the results of the games that have already been played, and they will still continue to, like today we have in a game between Kumba University up against Gulu University, and these games will continue. And the normal, when we talk about the ongoing University League, I know most of the West Nilers, their mind will be, of course, when Muni will be playing. The game for Muni will be till next month, and it will be on 5th of October, and the year is 2023. We are following the story, at least if we miss bringing for you the updates about the ongoing University League, maybe for a day or as twice in a week, at least in the other coming days, we make sure that we keep you updated on what is transpiring in that world of ongoing University League in the country.
Of course, that's one big thing that you could be talking about, because the University League has to be one big one. You did also see Islamic University also winning right there. So that means they're still doing. But of course, it was an early lead for that is Kampala University making a fast, of course, quick 2 goals that of course kept them relevant in this, which of course you could be saying is the reason why they kept themselves right there. By the time, of course, that is Bishop Stout looking for what exactly they can get the goals in there. It was already too late. They were all taken away by that is the time was against them, so it couldn't allow them to probably push it right there. But of course, all in all, I want to say that the University League has something that it comes. There are very many players that have come out of the University League. They are, of course, products of University Leagues that have also brought up in there. So do you think this is also going to bring in identity to some of the new entrants or new players that have not been identified by different clubs in the country?
I think it's quite going to bring in that very identity, because one fact we can all not run away is once a player is very hardworking and very talented, gets to play good football, trust me, people always come after you. People always come looking for your signatures to add into their squad. So to me, I think the University League could be one platform to showcase talent and all that. And trust me, once these boys showcase their talent very well and it's approved, most of these clubs would run in after them.
All right, and now that's one big thing with the University League, just like he did mention to you, a game on card today, so we shall be waiting to see how exactly the results of these games will also be right there. But interestingly, I want to say teams are trying to strategize and push things, work out for them right there. Now let's go away from there and look at how exactly teams are also doing. Remember, it's been quite a long time after the school by the names of Royal Giant High School dominating in that is the secondary school games, the East African games that probably could always keep coming here and there. But this time around, their head coach, who has stayed there for 9 years, says, no, I think my time is enough, and he has left the club. Where will that, left the school, where will that take the school? Are we seeing the progress continue?
I think it's something so bad for the team of Royal Giant, because this is a personality who has stayed for long with you and he has had a lot of achievements in the school. Now that he has decided to leave you, and it's going to take time for the school to get someone who is like a Frank Mulindwa to see that he actually continues to perform the way how Mulindwa has also been driving these boys. And it's true, this coach has actually been doing a lot with the team of the Royal Giants from under 14, under 15, under 16 up to the age category of under 20. And at the district level, they have actually been performing very well. When you talk about at the regional level, they have always been a star. At the national level, they have been performing, and also at the East African continent, they have also been performing, also to the extent of representing the country. When you talk about the international school championship, Royal Giant, of course, they have been one of the schools to watch, unlike the last 2 years, where of course they have not been performing very well when you talk about the regional tournament, because of late we have seen everything has been dominated by schools like Moose College, Budo. You talk about schools like St. Mary's Tende, but that one doesn't mean that this is a school that was not performing very well. It's true that the court has already left. It's all into the hands of the administrators to see that they actually go for another course who can be able to pick it from where Mulindo has left, such that we continue to see the success at the school of Royal Giant. And also, this is a coach who does not only believe in ready-made materials. When I talk about ready-made materials in football, these are actually ready players, because we have ever been saying we have in different categories of coaches. There are coaches who love nurturing their own players, but there are coaches who will always be dealing with ready-made players. But this is a coach who believes in nurturing his own players. That's why we have seen some of his players now featured in the top tier of Ugandan football, various clubs they are playing for, and also feeding the national team of Uganda in under 17, under 20. That means his departure has not only left a gap for the school, and also left a gap for the entire country in terms of the national team.
The lowest has been under 14, under 15, under 16, 17, and 20 that he has been dealt with. Now, if you look at what exactly he's earned you, he has really just said nurtured very many clubs, players for clubs. He has won a couple of trophies in that region, of course, winning almost all that with the team. But at the same time, I want to say that he has really brought up very many players. Talk about the Davises, whom you could talk, the Chamiras or Bright Stars are in there. Teams like Express, Bright Stars, Sol Tilo, and of course Sports Club Villa. You talk about, mention a few, of course, who have benefited from his services. And of course, this leaves a very big gap. Why could this come to... Susie, do you think there's anywhere near that this resignation came at nothing, or maybe felt he's tired, or should there be something that is fishy?
Apparently, Owen, we all know that the head coach position has run vacant, and any other resignation within the country that comes at such a time is being linked to probably maybe someone applying or having his eyes onto that very job. But this is something we cannot say that maybe could be the reason why Mulindwa has resigned. Based on all the years he has actually spent with the Royal Giants, winning taking them to bigger levels and hence winning with them all these other leagues, be it regional, be it the Fiesta, be it what. So I think probably we should just wait and see where exactly the problem is, because all we know is he has not had issues with his players, he has not had issues with his supervisors and all that, and he has been doing well. So possibly no management would come in and sack such a coach, trust me. Maybe there could be reasons, if not, unless maybe he's also one of the applicants that dropped in their forms for the vacancy.
When like you have posed, and there's like Susan has said, maybe there is a lucrative offer which is on the table for him, because with such kind of experience, I don't think this coach will be in position to stay for long, minus having anything in the world of football. And the other thing is, in average, I have actually been calculating this one. He has spent something of around 9 years with the Royal Giants. That means, in average, winning more than 30 trophies in average. This coach actually has been in average winning at least 4 trophies in every year, because we have talked about, mentioned the age categories. He has been dealing with at least in average winning 4 trophies in every year. He has actually been with this school. Is something that adds something vital into his CV.
Okay, now that's one big thing, but of course his whereabout remains uncertain, and we're not sure where exactly he will be crossing over to, because there's no clear information that has come in there, not even a close source that has revealed about the coach's departure, maybe where exactly next he could be going right there. But we will leave that there and thank him for all what he has done to Ugandan football, and probably he will still do more, because this could be the time. He's a CAFC, he can coach a FUFA big league side, so maybe you could be seeing him cross over to any club. That probably could be there. He could be an assistant to any coach, maybe. But of course, with all that, I would love to see him get a club that is really so much investing in academies, and that's where he should start his journey, because he looks to be one who knows what he wants from that is the club there. So it's one big thing. But let's cross away from there and get to the FUFA big league games that were played yesterday. This one game was on card, where of course it was the Mbale derby, and still the usual Mbale saga, or the usual Mbale circumstances happened in this game right there. Now, of course, reports have it. This was after, of course, a report from the Eastern Uganda Sports Press Association released a letter saying they will never ever cover, of course, any sports related activity of that is Mbale Heroes. This is after they were threatened, they were alleged different things, insulted, and the rest that came in there. Yeah, this is one thing, but it was a 0-0. Let's start with the bit of the story where, of course, Federation should be saying, okay, the games went on. It was a 0-0. Tactically, of course, did you expect that?
Yeah, I expected that one, because it was a derby. Like I said yesterday, derby always comes with its own things, its own players, its all tension. But me, I gave 70% of it for the new promoted side, that's Mbale Heroes. But Kataka proved me wrong, because this is a team that has been there in the little seasons. They have stayed in the StarTimes FUFA Big League. Actually, to their neighbors, they said, no, we have stayed here. We at least understand the angles when it comes to the StarTimes FUFA Big League. At least when it comes to derby, we always rallied ahead of you. So holding their neighbors into a draw, to me, is something not surprising. Though we compared, me personally, I compared the quality of the team Mbale Heroes had with the team of Kataka. I expected Mbale Heroes to have at least picked a narrow win over Kataka, but Kataka FC rather said, no, we can at least contain you up when we get at least a point against you, which indeed happened.
I personally watched that game and it was so interesting. I want to confirm to you, it was a high tense game. Of course, the referee had to balance it very well. I want to thank the referee, because the officiation was not that all bad. You would see that it was so balanced, because I don't know, maybe because the game was live on TV, or because the referee has this time around put strict laws that no any other nonsense from that is the referees, and it is really, it could be working out. But all in all, it is one of the biggest I saw in that game, and I want to say the two sides are really going to be competitive for any club that would be approaching them at home in Mbale, and that is one big thing that we can talk about. But to Susie, since you are the Miss Discipline right here, let's talk about the discipline bit of it. Fans and of course some of the stakeholders in this in Mbale still went riot.
I think Mbale just has a lot of issues to be worked upon when it comes to discipline cases. This is not the first time it is happening. It has always been there. I don't know if this has been buried there, that whenever there is a derby or even a visiting side, we've seen the chaos not only being on themselves alone, it has extended to the visiting teams and all that. We've seen a lot of incidences and all that. But then what beats my understanding is why these people are always not fined, why they're not heavily penalized and all that, because now if this continues happening and they're always pardoned or no heavy penalties are put against them, trust me, this vice is going to continue and all that. I don't know how yesterday we all didn't look at this angle. We all looked at the tension bit of it. Maybe would bring in the chaos, will mix them with the tension bit of it, because from someone being tense is where a chaos normally erupts from. But then this is a very dangerous race, honestly. I think FIFA needs to come up with heavy bans or even heavy penalties on the teams or the clubs that actually do this. We've seen a lot of clubs suffer due to the hooliganism of the fans. A lot of clubs have suffered from UPL to big league and all that. So I think FIFA really needs to look at the eastern side clubs with triple eyes to at least kill this very virus.
Benson, discipline-wise, what should be done to Mbale? Mbale Heroes, Kataka, clubs are now fearing to go there already. West Nile is going there on the 5th, I think, 15th of next month. They're even asking what is their game's fate, because they don't want to go and get damages, they don't want to go and get injuries and the rest. That will be right there. Yeah,
it's becoming as a common scenario, a common phenomenon in the whole of the eastern part of the country, more especially in Mbale city. Like Susie said, it's not the first of its kind we are seeing getting into such kind of hooliganism. I remember very well last season there was a time Adjumant Town Council also visited that side, where we saw some of the technical team. We talk about the players, they actually sustained a lot of injury. That means eastern part of the country, of course, has been something difficult to visit, more especially for the visiting teams. This one, it's now action to the FIFA, even not even FIFA before the issue reaches into the hands of that FIFA, before FIFA does anything, at least the fans, the community members around who are supporting these clubs, Mbale Heroes, Kataka, it may not only be these two clubs, but any club that comes from the eastern part of the country. That means this will now be improving on their discipline as far as football fraternity is concerned. So the community members, of course, they will have to improve on the issue of discipline, and at the same time FIFA, of course, will have to reach somewhere to see that the calm the situation of hooliganism, and to the extent of the federation saying that if this one continues, they may not end up covering any game from Mbale Heroes as that one of Kataka again. That means they are now spoiling the brand, they're already spoiling the image of the whole city. That means any club that might be innocent coming from the same city may also be affected. All in all, it
but the question is, why is Federation so quiet about these clubs? Why is it so like protective? If this would be maybe other clubs, you would be seeing summonings, you would be seeing fines, you would be seeing states that come. This is not the first time Kataka maybe is involved. Mbale Heroes has just popped in, and this is not maybe the first time. But all in all, you're seeing this. Maybe a club will be banned to go and play somewhere. Why is it?
It's true. It's true. To some extent, the FIFA is biased. Because we have seen, in fact, last year, both in Star Times Uganda Premier League and in FIFA Big League, we saw some of the clubs being penalized. I can give the best example with on the Paraka Football Club, because this is a club. What happened to them? Most of the West Nilers, they understand it. Now Kataka, the issue I remember very well, where of course they caused that havoc to the team of Juman Town Council. It's true that FIFA was quiet. Sometimes we say it takes time for an organization to follow, it takes time for the federation to follow the scenario, but this one has just happened yesterday. We never know, they might still be pulling themselves.
Why should you follow stories when others are instant? That's what I'm trying to bring. It takes FIFA sometimes 2 to 3 days to make decisions of certain clubs in Uganda.
Now the issue between Kataka and, if I may still take it backwards, the issue between Kataka and the Juman, it annoyed people. People expected some action to be taken by the federation. They went quiet about it. This one has happened. It happened yesterday. We are waiting to see in case it will also surpass something of 1 week and the FIFA also gets to be quiet. That's where I will say the bias part of the federation. That's where I will see it coming, because any hooliganism case, any indiscipline case that involves football fraternity, of course, the federation has to take action, because the federation is actually there to protect the image of the football we have in the country. In case each and every time, like in the same region and in the same city, it has already happened twice, and they have been quiet about it. The third time it will be happening, of course, it is going to anger as annoy the rest of the football fans we have in the whole country.
I want to say, if that's what is going to be happening, then it's really bad one. It's giving a bad image to that is Ugandan football, because yes, the big league is one that everyone always fears. Of course, they think with big league you move the whole country, you go and see different places and see what exactly you need to get in. There are more games, so if other areas are going to be threat or places, then it is going to affect the league mentally, and of course that is it. So I think we need to promote safety. We need to promote friendship. We need to promote, of course, togetherness. We need to promote good football, not chaotic football. That is one thing that is going to sell this Uganda and the league that is being played in it. Yes, we have seen rivalries in the games, but it shouldn't reach up to that moment. So how is this going to affect these clubs via publicity? Because all media houses have said no, but they will cover the stories in sports.
I think it's greatly going to affect them, because one, sometimes stakeholders or people that are interested in signing players get to look at these players from a publicity point of it. You may find that maybe a case in point is that game that was played yesterday. You may find that there are people that might be interested in hand-picking good players, and they may not get the chance to go up to Mbale to actually watch these players. So they just sit back and watch these games, if at all they are being broadcasted. So I mean, such affects them even revenue-wise, because such people, the media gets to give you publicity for such games, and of course other people are called and they come and watch such games, and this again also brings down revenue to the club. Trust me, the whole thing is going to affect the club badly, even the players themselves, because now if nobody watches you, no one is interested in you. I mean, your dreams get killed, and eventually you find even the whole club or the players are sinking and sinking, nothing comes out. Yeah.
Oh, it's one of the biggest things that I want to say I'm really not happy with, because it's Uganda that we're talking about, and it's a Ugandan league that we're talking about. So we'd really love to see the best out of Uganda as a country. We'd love to see the best out of the limited company, which is, of course, the Federation of Uganda Football Association. That is an independent body that handles Ugandan football affairs right there. So it's one of the biggest things that the federation has to look into. I see a federation sometimes the members argue on different things instead of arguing on such things that are live, that are happening, and you see put in there. Yes, I know the question will always be, do you have the evidences? But something has happened. Can someone just come at a green and maybe forge a story when evidences or some of this kind of things are there? So it's one big thing I think the country has to look into, the federation has to put forward and see that things move at the right way.
Oh, and actually, before we drive the content away, one thing I want to put about the issue is all about damaging the reputation, the image of these two clubs. We all know that the season has just started, and you have started it with the wrong impression. That means the rest of the teams, of course, will be eyeing you in terms of the indiscipline cases you have already possessed. So this one is just an advice to these two clubs, that's Qatar Eka, in case there is a fan of the two clubs, as there are some fans of the two clubs that are getting us.
They are there, they are watching.
Of course, it's going to damage the reputation of these two clubs. The season, as I said, has just started. That means at the starting point, if you start like this, the rest of the clubs, the federation itself that governs football in this country, of course, they will be fixing their eyes on you. So they will have to be very, very technical and careful ahead of the upcoming games. If not, we may see dangers coming on their side. That's what I want to put before actually we drive the content away.
A headless chicken, Uganda Cranes, that has no head coach. Reports have it that over 300 plus foreigners have applied for the job, and you want to see what exactly will be coming right there. Over 300 plus have applied for, that is the position of that is the head coach at Uganda Cranes vacant post. So we shall be seeing what exactly that would be like. While the local coach is also not interested, we shall be waiting to see. Let's